What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for episode 2 of Hit the Books podcast. We're here. You guys ready for week 2 of the NFL season?
Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get going.
All right, boys, let's cut the chit-chat and get right to it. So last week for the team card, we went 2-1. We hit Seahawks minus 2.5, Raiders money line, and we did not hit Packers minus 4. That was a tough one. I didn't like that one. But we were up 1.7 units on the week. What do you guys think? I think we did pretty all right.
I did not see that Packers game. I didn't watch the game, but I just kept looking at the score, and I was hoping that sooner or later Aaron Rodgers would get something going.
He just doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He wants out of there.
And we were talking about they were going to get a big win, and, you know, he was going to have all the hype going into the season with they should have gotten him all the weapons that he wanted or given him whatever he wanted. But
well, you know it was going to go one of two ways. He was either going to do that or he was going to put up 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly.
Got the short end of the stick.
Jameis balled out.
That's the big surprise of the week was Jameis.
Did you see his MVP odds drop?
Yeah, from
5,000 to
plus 1,600.
I was gonna say 1,500. I think 1,600 maybe, right around there.
I still wouldn't put my money there, but
yeah, but still, that's an insane drop just off of one game. I mean, that just shows how good he played. 38-3 was the final score.
Promising for the Saints.
I didn't even know that Jordan Love got in for a little bit.
The end of the game, there was not one starter in the game.
Yeah,
it was a waste of time.
Yeah,
and Aaron Rodgers was sitting on the bench, just smiling.
Yeah, he didn't even want to be there.
Yeah, just smiling. I love that.
Jameis Winston, 14 for 20, 148 yards, 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns.
No picks. That's the biggest thing with him. No picks.
Aaron Rodgers threw 2 interceptions on 3 throws.
Jameis goes 5 touchdowns, no picks. The yardage wasn't there. I'm surprised.
That was like a stat. It was like under 150 yards and 4 touchdowns.
They had a lot of rushing yards on the team, though. They had 83 for Kamara. Jameis had 37 rushing yards, and Taysom Hill had 1. So, and then some other guy. What's this guy's name? Tony Jones Jr.
Never heard of him.
11 carries for 50 yards. The team had 171 rushing yards. They had more rushing yards as a team than passing
yards.
That's why it was probably just a real fast game. They got up and the clock didn't stop.
So in week 1, we had 9 underdogs win outright. Arizona Cardinals, Chargers, Texans, Steelers, Bengals, Eagles, Saints, Dolphins, and Raiders. Big week 1.
One of them that I actually had some money on, the other team that I lost on was I took Vikings -3, and going into that last drive with the Vikings with the chance to tie it to send it to overtime. They tie it. They're carrying the ball down the field. Did you watch this game?
Yeah, I thought it was going to end in a tie, to be honest.
Dude, they're carrying the ball down the field, and my cousin looks at me and goes, "Oh, you got this." I'm like, "Don't say that. Don't say that." And next play, I look up. The ball's on the ground. Bengals have the ball. I'm like, this is over. And then I was hoping it ended in a tie because I was like, at least, or no, because
there was like 3 minutes left.
I had the money line separately in a parlay, and I had the -3. I was like, at least I'll get my parlay will still be alive.
I think I had Vikings -3.5 too.
Dude, Burrow drives him down the field. They kick the field goal. That McPherson kid, I've never even heard of him. He kicks a game winner.
Big win for them, though. Big win.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow looks pretty.
They look good. Jamar Chase didn't have a case of the drops that game.
Dude,
100 yards,
just like it's
touchdown.
LSU, just like they're at LSU.
100 yards and a touchdown.
He's the most promising rookie out there right now.
He has high upside if they're gonna be good, but it depends how much protection Burrow can get.
All right, boys. Tough beat for Tennessee. What do we think about the Cardinals?
Kyler Murray plus 1,600 for MVP. What do you think, Huff? I like it.
I was gonna say I like that too. I'm thinking
the odds on it. I don't know how it's plus 1,600. He's got to.
If he keeps going off, obviously the odds are gonna drop quickly. But I don't know. It depends if he can keep up in that tough division.
I don't know. That's also he has a lot of
289 yards, 4 touchdowns, a pick in week 1.
And how much did he run for? He probably ran for over 100.
Only 5 carries for 20 yards. Yeah. 1 touchdown though, a rushing touchdown.
I don't know. If he can get together some tough wins, because they have a tough division. They have to play a lot of hard teams. So.
D-Hop with a big game, 83 yards, 6 receptions, 2 touchdowns.
And he had that nice touchdown grab.
Yeah. Christian Kirk also had 70 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so I would like that Kyler Murray plus 1,600 for.
Derrick Henry
MVP.
didn't play too hot.
Yeah, let's
17
talk about the other
carries.
side.
17 carries, 58 yards.
Did nothing. Titans looked awful. They were
Especially
favored too.
Yeah, they were -3. Tannehill, 212 yards, touchdown, a pick. They looked terrible in the first half.
Yeah, it was not their day. Definitely not.
Yeah, they looked.
Couldn't get anything going.
And then you got the Steelers going into Buffalo. Josh Allen, the top 3 favorite for MVP. He didn't look too hot in the beginning.
That Steelers defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to mess with. Josh Allen, 270 yards on the day, a touchdown, no interceptions. But, I mean,
Did he throw a touchdown?
Drop back to pass 51 times. Yeah, he threw a touchdown.
He just had so much pressure on him.
Yeah, he dropped
so
back
much pressure
30 for 51.
You have TJ Watt coming at you full speed. You get rid of that ball as quick as you can.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, that was a really good
I like
game.
how Steelers didn't look like they had any chance until the end, and then out of nowhere they had the lead.
Ben
He
Roethlisberger,
needed
the one that everyone was talking about, if he can just play average, this team can do
He
good.
didn't even play average. And
188
they still won.
and a touchdown. If that defense and him and that defense can work together,
Watching that guy move hurts.
they're gonna
me.
win. They're gonna win.
All right, what are we thinking about our Raiders money line pick? That was a great pick. I loved watching that game going into OT. That was a fun one to see.
That was.
They 14-0 Baltimore in the first.
I was
10
worried.
minutes.
I was worried.
Oh, I was worried.
I was like, all right.
I was like, all right, this
Not
is gonna
looking
be
good.
17-3 at half if I'm lucky.
I didn't think they had any chance.
Yeah.
Derek Carr didn't start very well. Picked it up.
Dude, he was throwing the ball the whole first 2 drives. He threw the ball to Darren Waller.
Darren
every
Waller had
play.
like 19 targets.
but with like 1 catch. He couldn't even get it to him. Carr
Yeah.
couldn't get the ball down.
That was the craziest game of the week by far. Probably going to end up being one of the craziest games of the year. How about that on the 5-yard line in overtime? He threw it right through his hands off the helmet, interception. I thought they lost it right there.
Time to jump into week 2. First game of the week, we're looking at the New York Giants at the Washington football team. Washington football team is favorited at -3 and the over-under set at 40.5. Take it away, Mackie.
With the Giants' performance last week, I can't see them putting up any numbers against Washington's defense. They just looked absolutely awful. Washington -3 here could be a good call. What do you think, Huff?
Yeah, I like that -3. I'm surprised it's not a little more with Washington playing at home. I mean, I think it would be if they didn't just lose Fitzpatrick for the season to injury. But I think that Heineke has shown that he has the ability to keep up. I mean, he had played that nice wild card game
that
against
wild card game.
Tampa
Played
Bay.
pretty well, too.
He balled out. He had that nice little long rushing yard. You know what I mean?
All signs here point to Washington. Giants are only 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games played in week 2. And Saquon Barkley only rushed for 26 yards on 10 carries. And me being a Penn State guy, really was looking for more from him.
Yeah, I don't know. That 40.5 over under is scary to me because, like me and Mackie were talking earlier, that I could see the Giants only scoring 10 points in this game on that Washington defense, but it's up to Washington to cover if they can score 30, and I don't see that happening. So
That Washington defensive line against that Giants offensive line is going to be hard to watch.
yeah,
Chase Young could end up with like 5 sacks.
yeah,
It
he could be
another
like Chandler Jones last week.
I think Danny Dimes, if you want to call him, is going to have.
If that's what
He's
you
going to
want,
be. He's going to be hurting on
what you want
Friday.
to call him.
He's going to be hurting on Friday. I can tell you that.
All right, now let's move into the next game. We got the Raiders at Pittsburgh. The first Sunday 1 o'clock game. Steelers are favored at -5.5. Over under at 47.
It's here at Pittsburgh. What do you think?
Yeah, Huff.
We look good coming into Buffalo last week. Like we just said, we talked about the Steelers and the Raiders. I mean, Steelers defense looked good. Obviously, if Ben, it's gonna be my take on the Steelers every week. If Ben can throw 1 touchdown and near 200 yards, and that defense can
Not
play
turn the ball over.
that defense can play subpart of that, we're gonna make the playoffs, and we're gonna be a team that you don't want to see in the playoffs with a defense like that.
All right, I don't want to go. I wouldn't go that far.
I'm telling you.
Um,
But in this game, specifically week 2, is what I'm worried about right now.
Steelers money line.
Yeah,
I don't like the spread.
I don't like the 5.5. The more I think about it, I'm thinking like 24-17 Steelers, and I know that covers, but I think the Raiders could have the ball last drive, and I don't know if they're going to get, you know what I mean?
Well, they're not going to kick a field goal there.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, I want to be safe knowing that, like, I got my money line if it hits.
Yeah, you don't want to have to worry about the 5.5.
Yeah, I don't want to have to worry about that weird 5.5 spread. I don't like the 5.5 or 4.5 points usually.
I got two trends here. Vegas is 7-1 against the spread in its last 8 games against Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is 4-1 straight up in its last 5 games when playing at home against Vegas. So again, preludes to your money line.
Yeah, see, I don't see Vegas coming in and stealing one in Pittsburgh against a defense like that, but
You think it might be close?
I think they'll put up a fight. I think they'll.
Yeah, I think
they
Jacobs
might
and
hop out to
Waller.
a quick lead.
Yeah, Jacobs and Waller are gonna have a good game. I've never been one that's big on Derek Carr, but
I mean, he gets what he needs to do. He does what he needs to do.
that's exactly. I mean, and sometimes it's enough to get the wins,
Can't
like
hate
it
on
wasn't
him, yeah.
like it was against Baltimore on Monday night.
And moving forward, we got the Bengals at the Chicago Bears, also a Sunday 1 o'clock game. Close one here with Bears minus 1.5, over under 44.5. Huff, take it away.
I woke up this morning and the spread was plus 3.5, and I wanted Bengals plus 3.5, and it is now 1.5, and I don't know what I'm gonna do here.
You still
now.
like it?
Not the 1.5. I don't know. At this point, if I'm taking 1.5, I'm taking the money line.
Yeah, I mean 1.5.
Yeah, they're not like 24-23. You know, if I lose
if you do,
I'll take my chances. You know what I mean?
you,
On the
right?
1 point. Yeah.
Joe Burrow looks good. Looks real good.
Very
Jamar
good.
Chase look good. They look good. Their defense.
And the Bears, what do the Bears have? They have nothing promising. They have nothing going for them. Only thing
They
going
have
for them is
Montgomery and Robinson.
and they have Justin Fields if they want to use him.
Montgomery and Robinson are a very average running back receiver duo as number ones. You know what I mean?
There's just nothing around them. That's the problem.
Yeah, like they don't
Andy-
have a crazy offensive line. They always have Khalil Mack, but he's always gonna make his plays.
I just don't see why they're starting Andy Dalton. You drafted Justin Fields for a reason.
He did not look good in the game on what was that, Sunday
Andy
night?
Dalton, right?
Yeah, he was Sunday night. Yeah,
Yeah.
Andy Dalton looked terrible.
Yeah.
The first half, I only watched the first half of the game, and it was 13-7. The Bears got a touchdown, kind of last couple of minutes of the
Justin
second
Fields
quarter.
rushing touchdown.
No, that
or-
wasn't the Justin Fields one. I don't
Okay.
think. I think that was Montgomery's. I think he ran
Montgomery
it in,
did
so
get
I
a
don't even
touchdown.
think
He's
I
on
don't
my
even think
fantasy
Dalton
team.
had a throwing touchdown. But
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I just he's not even like your franchise quarterback. You guys got him this year, and you have a first-round draft pick quarterback right behind him. Why are you not starting him?
It's just,
and
then
then
they're going to use him.
And they got blown out. Like there's nothing.
And they're going to
working.
use him on running plays and act like he's only going to come in on that. It's like, no. Like, sooner or later, this is what your
Exactly.
offense
Like,
could be.
use him.
Like,
you have nothing going for you. Just put him in.
yeah. They're not going to win.
You know,
I mean,
Andy Dalton's
dude, that
not
division,
bringing you
that
to the
division could be up
playoffs.
for grabs. If Rodgers doesn't
If
want to
Rodgers,
play,
yeah.
that division
Lions are gone. It's
Yeah.
just you and the Vikings.
it's you and the Vikings.
Kirk
And
Cousins is
they're already
not-
0-1. You know what I mean?
Kirk Cousins isn't all that.
You're both 0-1. Like, did that whole division go 0-1?
They did. They
The
did.
whole division started out 0-1.
Everyone in the division's own one.
Wow.
Insane.
All right, this game we got Houston Texans coming off a surprising win against the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence.
Tyrod Taylor, baby.
Coming into Cleveland to face Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. What do we think here? Minus 12.5 for Cleveland.
This is
And-
just a ridiculous spread.
Yeah, 48.5 on the over/under. I don't really like anything about this game.
I mean,
Agreed.
Browns are going to win.
Yeah, Browns are gonna win, but like
There's not much to say about this game. Browns
Yeah.
are going to win. Don't
If you-
touch a 12.5.
do not
point
touch
spread.
12.5.
Minus 650 money line, a lock.
As soon as you
Yeah,
get,
if you want to throw $650, I don't think you're going to lose.
yeah.
Just letting you know. They're probably going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real.
Here we got the Rams and the Colts. We got the away team Rams at minus 3.5 and the over-under at 47.5. Anything good coming from this game, boys?
The only thing for me is the road team 3.5. I know the Rams look good. They didn't play too good of a team like we were talking about with Andy Dalton and the Bears, but
There was a lot of promise there. I think Matt Stafford looked real good in the second half.
he did.
I
yeah.
think they started to gel together.
He, like you said earlier, he's learning that offense.
He's learning the offense. It's all he
And-
needed to do. The first half was a little was a little like preseason for him.
I don't have too much faith in the Colts, but if Jonathan Taylor can put together a game, it's going to be hard against that Rams defense. Is
Carson
too
Wentz
good.
also didn't look bad last week.
No,
I
I didn't watch that game, but I saw a couple highlights of him. He didn't look bad in a couple throws I saw him make. He's usually like known for inaccuracy and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think the Rams definitely come out on top here. The 3.5, that half.
I like the Rams
scares
money
me.
line here.
Yeah, that half point scares me, but 3.5 does look good.
I'll take the money. Yeah, I like their money line more than the 3.5, just because that half point is always going to be what gets you every time.
This over-under is rather high at 47.5, but the over is hit in the last 5 games between these clubs. I know we're not over-under fans here, but you guys think anything about that?
I don't know. I'd probably go over 47.5 in this game. I know it's high, but that Rams offense, they look good. I know the Rams have a good defense, and I don't know how much the Colts are going to be able to keep up with them on that over. But I don't know. The Rams 31, even if they can get 31, I like that.
31-20, I could see that as a score.
Even 31-17 covers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, if anything over, but
I'm not
a big fan.
Yeah, not a big fan of the over-under game. Not for me.
All right, let's head down to Miami for the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. We got the Bills favored at -3.5 and the over at 47.5 yet again.
I don't know. But Buffalo, despite the loss against the Steelers, they look good. I thought Josh Allen with a lot of yardage. I mean, he had a lot of pressure coming at him with the Steelers defense, but I think the Bills are going to come out on top here. I don't know if I like the 3.5 divisional matchup. If you're going to take something on this game, though, I would probably lean towards the Bills on the money line. It's kind of heavy at the -194, but I'd probably go with that. I don't know. What do you think?
I like the 3.5. I think they win by a touchdown or two. I think Josh Allen doesn't play around this game.
Yeah, honestly, that's tough. Like we were saying, the divisional matchup, and the 3.5 is that half point will get you, but I don't know. I think you can convince me on that 3.5.
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah.
like 3.5.
And after that game, we got the New England Patriots at the New York Jets. We got the Patriots favored at -5.5 and the over-under at 42.5. Rather low one for this week. Boys, what are we thinking?
I don't love the Patriots. I don't know. 5.5 here.
That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
I know the Jets aren't too hot of a team coming into this year. They're definitely one of the bottom 3 teams in the league, and I don't know. Mac Jones.
I don't like Mac Jones. I'm just gonna say it right now.
He didn't look the best last week. He had his touchdown, and I don't know. He could have. I feel like I want to say he could have done more, but
he could have done more. He
Yeah.
lost.
yeah, exactly.
He
Exactly.
could have done
Yeah,
more.
he could have done more.
I think Jets plus 5.5 is good here.
I
I
can't
also wouldn't mind sprinkling the money line. Plus 215 is a lot of value there. You're going into MetLife.
For Zach Wilson to get his
Zach
first win.
Wilson's first home game.
The Jets plus 5.5. Honestly, that is tempting. I'm thinking about it but I could see the
I like
score.
the Jets here. I like the Jets money line.
The New York Jets are 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games when playing at home against New England.
Yeah, see, even when New England was a powerhouse,
Yeah.
Jets have their number in MetLife.
They keep it close.
Jets money line, lock it in right now.
I don't know, dude. I like that. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, let's go. Are we Zach Wilson fans this week?
We're Zach Wilson fans every week.
Next, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles on the East Coast. We got the 49ers at -3.5. Money line at -196 and the over-under at 49.5. Mackie, you want to take away with this one?
Yeah, I don't really have many thoughts in this game. I don't think either team really showed who they were yet. I think Eagles had a nice win against the Falcons, but then again, they're the Falcons. And then who did the Niners play? Niners played the Lions. Yeah, and they looked pretty bad at the end of the game. They almost blew the game.
That's what I'm saying. I think I like the Eagles plus 3.5 here.
I can back that up with Philadelphia is 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games when playing San Francisco.
I like that stat.
Philadelphia's just had so many different teams.
Jalen Hurts looked good, too.
He did,
It's not even
he
just
did.
the fact that they were playing the Falcons. Jalen Hurts looked good. They scored a lot of points. They got the ball downfield. They showcased, they got Devontae Smith, his touchdown. First touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. First, Devontae Smith got the first touchdown, right?
Yeah, he did.
Next, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. New Orleans Saints at -3.5. Money line at -180 and the over-under at 44.5. The Saints came out swinging last week with a huge win against Green Bay. Hope they can keep that momentum going against the Panthers here in week 2. You think they're going to keep that rhythm going or what?
Jameis Winston. That's all I have to say.
Jameis shut down our bet for last week.
I don't like Sam Darnold either. I think the Panthers are overrated.
Yeah, I do too. I think whenever you think about like guys like the who was on the Panthers and Darnold, McCaffrey, they always have McCaffrey. He's always going to be there. They have a nice group of receivers, Robbie Anderson and what's the other guy's name? Curtis Samuel.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, yeah. And I don't know. The 3.5 here is the only thing for Carolina is they're at home, but
yeah, they're pretty good at home.
Do we like money line for New Orleans here?
Yeah,
that's what I'm leaning towards. I was saying I don't know about the 3.5, but when Jameis wins games, he wins them by 14.
Yeah, and you still have Sean Payton. You're still one of the best coaches in the league. So I think the Saints come out on top here.
I'll take Saints money line here -180. I just think that the 3.5 is sketchy, but like I said, when Jameis wins games, he has a tendency to win them by a lot of points. But I don't know. Carolina, I don't trust their ability to hang in this, but I'll just take the hopefully easy bet with the money line where I won't have to worry about the points. But what do you think?
I like the Saints here as well. They're 8-1 in their last 9 games against Carolina straight up. So definitely a money line move here.
Let's go right into this next one. Denver Broncos at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville didn't look too good last week, losing to Houston. And Denver, they had a big win. Teddy Bridgewater, big win against the New York Giants. They came out on top. What do you think here, Mackie? The -6, over under 45.5.
I think Urban Meyer should have stayed in college football, and I think Trevor Lawrence was awful. I think
he looked bad.
I think that was his one game where he should have won this year, and he got blown out. It wasn't even close.
He looked bad. I'm leaning towards Broncos -6.
Yeah, Broncos -6 is
Teddy looked good.
Clean. Broncos looked pretty promising against the Giants.
They honestly did.
They had a good team. They have a shot at getting a wild card spot this year. Obviously, they're not going to win the division.
The division's all starting out 1-0. It's going to be a tough division. It could be. The Chiefs are obviously going to win that division. I mean, it's not
when you have the Chiefs in your division.
It's not like they're playing for the division. It's more like who's playing for that wild card spot in the AFC. But yeah, I don't know. Whenever you get into games like that, the -6 going into Jacksonville. I don't know.
6 is a good number though.
That's what I'm thinking.
Keeping it under 7
and
points.
The push at 6.
Yeah, love a push. Love a good push.
So, I don't know. But then you look at the next one, Minnesota at the Cardinals.
First 4 o'clock game. Yeah. Minnesota's 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games when playing Arizona.
-3.5 for Arizona. Over under 50.5 here.
In Arizona.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I like the Cardinals with the points here.
Kyler Murray just... He looks good. He looks like he can't be stopped. He looks like young good. Russell Wilson out there.
He does. He looks really good. Like, I think the Cardinals come out on top here by... I think this spread honestly should be about 5.5, like with that Steelers game.
I think it should be up a little more,
like
too.
That Steelers game or the other 5.5 one that we were just talking about. But I don't know. The Cardinals defense, they came out looking good.
And yeah, it's not even their...
Chandler Jones,
5 sacks.
Yeah, like...
2 forced fumbles.
Is that defense going to be able to hold the under with this trend? The total's gone under in 4 of the last 5 games between these clubs in Arizona. With a medium high.
I think the Cardinals are going to score a lot of points. It just comes down to how many they can hold Minnesota to.
I'd say I'm going to take the under here. I don't think Minnesota's going to keep up with Arizona.
I give Minnesota 17. You know what I mean?
I give them 10.
13, somewhere in there. Yeah.
I say 28-10.
Yeah, they're not going to score more than 17. I can see them score. They're going to score 10. They're going to get in the end zone. I don't know. That defense looked good. If they can keep up the pace from last week, that under 50.5 should be easy.
We'll see.
All right, and moving forward, we're going to the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers favored at 11.5 points, a rather high spread for this week, and the over-under set at 51.5. The total has gone over in the last 5 games between these clubs, and I think with Tom Brady, they're going to keep it going.
I like the Bucs here. I think there's no reason to touch a spread that's 11.5 points. I think they do cover it, but I wouldn't take my chances.
Yeah, I'm not taking my chances on 11.5.
Bucs are just going to come out on top, simple as it is.
That's what I think here. The 51.5, like I was thinking, the Tom Brady versus Matt Ryan matchup, it really just comes down to can Matt Ryan score points against Tampa Bay's defense.
Yeah, Tom Brady's going to put up the points. So
yeah.
Can Matt Ryan hold his own?
I don't know. I really don't like anything about this game other than, like we said, the Tampa Bay money line. Tampa Bay is going to start out 2-0.
I think Matt Ryan looked awful last week too. So
yeah, playing Philly,
they only put up 6 points against Philly. How many do you think they're going to put up against Tampa Bay?
They'll be lucky to score 10.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to think they're going to get in the end zone, though. You know what I mean? It's
hard
to go
sooner or later you're going to score.
It's hard to go 2 weeks without getting in the end zone, but I don't know. Next game we look at Dallas Cowboys at the Chargers.
Mackey and his Dallas Cowboys. What do you think, buddy?
Dallas money line plus 144. Lock it in.
Think that's going to be the underdog of the week?
I don't even think they're an underdog. I think that the only
it's
reason
the road matchup
in Dallas would be -3. I think the only reason they're not favored is because it's in on the Los road, Angeles. Yeah. Dallas put up a good fight last week against Tampa. They probably should have won that game. They
did look. Both of these teams look good last week.
They gave him too much time. Obviously, you give Tom Brady
over under 55.5. That's a high one. But two offenses that could, Chargers are going to have their fair throwing plays and see what they can do to get in the end zone. But
yeah, Justin Herbert looks good too. But I like my boys here.
Yeah, I don't know what I like here, honestly. I'd say Dallas +3. I'll go Dallas +3.
I think that's a safe move.
I think it's a good pick too.
Tennessee Titans at the Seattle Seahawks. We got the Seahawks at -4.5 and the over-under set at 53.5. In Seattle, Sunday, 4:30.
It's a tough place to go in and play. That's all I'm going to say. I know Mackey's high on the Titans this game. I don't know about the 4.5. That's a tough spread because Derrick Henry didn't have a big game last week. Julio Jones didn't have a big game last week. The Titans could come in this game swinging hot and.
So I don't think they're all going to shit the bed 2 weeks in a row. I mean, they have too much talent on the offensive end.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough to say for me right now.
I think if Ryan Tannehill comes to play,
I do think this is a high-scoring game.
I think so. I like the
53.5. I like that.
That's a high over/under, and I still like that. Over.
I still like that.
I have a trend that contradicts that a little bit. The total has gone under in the last 5 games between these teams in Seattle. On top of that, Seattle is 6-1 straight up in its last 7 games when playing at home against Tennessee.
So, I guess the points towards Seattle. I don't know. They looked pretty good last week. I liked them last week, but Tennessee, they have to come out to play. They don't have a choice here.
Yeah, that's another division that's really up for grabs. You know what I mean? Everyone.
And they should win that division.
Everyone's 0-1. The Texans are 1-0, which basically means everyone's 0-1 because the Texans don't matter.
Because they're obviously not going to come out.
So, the Titans, they need to come out on top here if they want to start out tough in that division and kind of get in front. But
Russell Wilson, can still cook.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Just offensive line that needs to hold up.
And the defense. That defense always comes down to Seattle's defense.
Yeah, it's hit or miss with them.
Yeah, this isn't the days of the Legion of Boom where they can just rely on that defense and only let up 8 points in a Super Bowl. But I don't know. Maybe Tennessee +4.5. I think I like that. I can see Tennessee getting out to an early lead, like maybe 10-3 at the end of the first quarter, or
Seattle
like halfway, like a little before halftime.
Russell
it could be 10-3.
Yeah. Drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe 10-6 at halftime. Tennessee's up, I think. And then I don't know.
Yeah, I like Titans +4.5 here. I think that's the only.
I'd go Titans 4.5.
Moving forward with the last game on Sunday at 8:20, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore Ravens. We got the Chiefs favored at -3.5, money line at -200, and the over/under at 55.5, another high one. Kansas City is 4-1 against the spread and straight up in its last 5 games when playing Baltimore.
that stat's only going to increase as Kansas City's going to cover 3.5 on this game in Sunday Night Football.
Agreed.
I'm not high on the Ravens. I said it last week. I'm going to stay on it. They didn't look good against the Raiders, and
They have too many injuries.
if they didn't look good against the Raiders, I'm sorry, you're not going to look too good against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing they have going for them here is that they're home, but I think Pat Mahomes comes in Sunday night and just puts up 500 yards.
Take the spread, take the money line, take whatever you can.
Take everything. Take
Lock.
first half spread, full game spread, money line,
I think
whatever
that
you wanna
spread.
do.
I honestly think that spread. If it should be 5.5 as well. They just don't like handing out the 5.5 spreads on the road. I guess unless you're the New England Patriots going into MetLife, you get a 5.5. But
First half spreads at -3 for the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs are more deserving of the 5.5 than the Patriots. But I don't know. That first half, I'm a big first half spread guy. First half -3. Yeah, I'll take.
They don't always come out too strong, though.
I don't think that happens this time, like this game, like last week. Like I
It's
don't
also
see.
Sunday night.
Yeah, I don't see that
prime
happening this
time,
week. Yeah,
Pat Mahomes.
Mahomes will be ready to play. They're going to come out and win
They're
the
just
first.
too good.
They'll win the first half. That -3 will be covered 21, or let's say 20-21 maybe. But I'm saying that's like how many points they'll score, and let's say maybe 14, 13 for the Ravens.
Yeah,
if
I think
they're
the Ravens
lucky.
will keep up in the first half.
I think
You
another
can't do it
another
for a full
high scoring game. I'd say like if it's 20-13 at halftime, Chiefs cover that -3. I think final score maybe 34.
38-21, I'll say.
I was gonna say 34-21. So somewhere in there. Yeah, that over. That's easy, I think. Wait, 34-21, that's not the over for me. 55.5. I don't like the over under in this game.
Moving into the Monday night game, we got the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. We got another big spread here with the Packers -11.5 and the over-under set at 48.5. Any thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers here, gentlemen?
Aaron Rodgers had 1.36 fantasy points last week.
Did you see the
Ouch.
stat with the QBR rating? I'm
Yeah,
not
if
high
you
on
spike-
QBR
if you
rating.
spike
If you
the
spike
ball
the
every
dirt,
single
if a quarterback
time.
spikes the ball in the dirt every single play, it's like 36.9. His quarterback rating was like 32.
It was like 30. Yeah, it was something like
It
that. It
was-
was lower than if you spiked the ball every time.
That was insane.
And he sat on the bench with a smile on his face.
I think he rebounds here against Detroit.
I don't. I completely disagree.
I don't know if they cover 11.5. That's what I'm saying. I think the Detroit plus 11.5 is easy here.
Aaron Rodgers could have won that game on Sunday. On Sunday,
Yeah,
in
if
my
he wanted
opinion,
to play.
I think if he wanted to, he could have won that.
I don't
game.
think he wants to.
That's
I don't
why
think
was
he wants to
sitting
be
on the bench
there.
smiling because he knew that he could do whatever he wanted.
But yeah, I'm not taking Detroit on that money line. I'll take the 11.5.
I think 11.5 here for Detroit is like a lock.
Yeah, I could.
I wouldn't
even
even plus 440 money line might be worth
that's.
a half unit.
I don't know. The 440. I like the 440 if you hit it, but
Can you imagine?
the 11.5. It's just that's
I
so
can
many
I can see
points.
the headlines. Aaron Rodgers loses to Detroit.
Yeah.
In Green Bay.
I was gonna say, dude, I just think that 11.5 on Monday night game. We always say that there's not spreads that big on a primetime game.
Never.
11.
Jared Goff 4 touchdowns. Let's see it.
Jared Goff.
I'm here for it.
Dude, Jamal Williams, that running back from the Packers, but he looked good last week. Did you watch that 49ers Lions game?
I watched the last 2 minutes.
I was
when
going
it
to say
got
that. I only
crazy,
watched a
but-
little bit of it, but I saw a couple clips on it, and that Jamal Williams did play pretty good. Jared Goff, he has a good game in Green Bay. This could be dude, we said it.
I would love to see it. I
That
would love to
division's
see
up
it.
for grabs, and if the Packers are going to go out,
Detroit Lions winning the NFC North. Could you imagine?
that'd be something.
That'd be a big fuck you to
Matt
LA.
Stafford.
Yeah, Matt Stafford in LA.
That'd be like, we can do this without you. If he wins the NFC
mean,
West,
he's
he
gonna
wouldn't
do
even
just as
care.
good,
Yeah, he
but-
wouldn't care, but
Still, they sent Jared Goff there to die. So
that would work for them. Clearly it wasn't working with Matt Stafford. If you can get it done with Jared Goff in Green Bay, it's looking like a good trade because Matt Stafford wasn't too hot against Aaron Rodgers.
we're rooting.
Different
For
Packers team with Rodgers not wanting to be there, it seems like right now, but
it. Yeah,
I don't know. Give me we've said it about a million times now. Detroit 11.5. I'm taking that.
Lock it in.
Now it's time to roll into the Week 2 team card. This week, the boys are liking Washington -3, Bengals moneyline at plus 112, Cardinals -3.5, Dallas Cowboys plus 3.5, and the Chiefs -3.5. And out of these, we're looking at the lock of the week to be the Cardinals minus 3.5 for a guaranteed hit.
I think that Cardinals minus 3.5 is probably my favorite play on that card, and there's a reason it's the lock of the week.
I'm just really high on Kyler Murray. I think he's just been great.
They look good. I mean, there's logic behind why we're picking them. That Minnesota, they didn't look too strong. They're playing what came off as an inferior Bengals team, known to not have kind of an unproven offense and not known to have much of a defense. But I just don't have too much faith in Minnesota to go into Arizona and cover that 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota looked awful. Arizona looked great. It's only a 3.5 point spread. Arizona's home. All the signs point towards Arizona.
Yeah, I look for another big game from Hopkins and the defense, and you know what I mean. Hopkins, Murray, another Hail Murray in there, maybe the big play that was against Buffalo, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I just like the Cardinals here, and then one of our other plays is the Bengals. That's our plus money line bet of the week. I don't know. I think Joe Burrow can get it done against Chicago. Going into Chicago is going to be tough. See what he can do on the road. But
that team just has no upside.
yeah, like
Bengals look good
until
last
the
week.
Bears decide to start Justin Fields, I'm probably going to be kind of down on them.
Andy Dalton's not getting any wins.
Yeah, Andy Dalton's not getting any love from me either, so I'm not going to show too much faith in the Bears until they decide to put Justin Fields in and kind of revamp that team. But
And the Bengals look good, so
yeah, the Bengals, they showed upside, and the Bears, they got crushed by 20.
I don't really think they should be underdogs in this situation. I think they should be favorites.
I think this should be an even game at minus 108 each, honestly.
And that's all we got for week 2 of the NFL season here. Over this past weekend, though, we had a good time down at WVU.
Yeah, we had a few beers in the parking lot. We tailgated a little, and then we smoked LIU 66-0.
I sadly took LIU on the plus. I thought the 48.5 was too many points, but I doubted my boys. I doubted my boys, but I don't know. It's good to see. It was good to be there and see everyone. Watch the boys get the win. Big win, 66-0. Wasn't at the game, but being in Morgantown is always good enough. So
Yeah, the boys had a good time.
Always a good time down in Morgantown. And that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Hit the Books Podcast. Be sure to check us out on our various social media platforms. Instagram at hitthebooks.pod, Twitter at hitthebooks_pod, website at hitthebookspod.com for all the latest on Hit the Books. And be sure to always study hard.
gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.